Hello everyone, in this video I'm going to show you how to drag custom shapes. Perhaps you did it in the past with shapes like a circle or a square. In this case I'm going to show you how to do it with any custom shape. Like in this case where I've prepared a strawberry and I can click anywhere on it and drag it to any location. So let me show you how you can achieve that as well. Okay, so first thing first, let's add our background. For that I'm going to use a regular type of node, and under that node I'm going to add a texture rect. The texture rect will be used for our texture, so I'm dragging the texture to this field, and that's it. I'm going to click on play. I'm going to select the current scene, and I will call it game, save it, and we should have our background. Great, let's move to the next step. Before we go and start adding nodes, let's explain what exactly is it that we're going to do in this step. And first we're going to add a sprite. And the reason we're going to add a sprite is because we want to display our strawberry, right? But in addition to the sprite, we're also going to add an area 2D. And the reason we're going to add an area 2D is because it has two very useful signals. One is the mouse entered, that will tell us every time we enter the area of the strawberry, and mouse exited when we exit the area of the strawberry. And finally, we also want to add a collision polygon 2D. And this is basically for the custom shape that we have in this case, which is not circle and not a square, but a strawberry. So now let's go ahead and start adding the different nodes in order to compose what we just discussed. So let's start by adding our strawberry scene. So at the top of Godot, click on the plus sign and let's start composing the scene. So the first node we're going to add is the sprite 2D node. And this is again for showing the strawberry texture. So let's also rename it to strawberry. And now let's add the area 2D node. This will allow us to know when we're in and out the strawberry area. And finally, let's also add the collision polygon 2D to define the custom shape of the strawberry. And let's add the texture of the strawberry. Let's drag it to the center of the screen this way. And now we can go ahead and start defining the custom shape of our strawberry using the collision polygon 2D. And with custom shapes, the way it's done is you simply start marking the shape on the outline of it. So you click this way on the shape. You don't have to be very accurate at the beginning. Don't worry about it. You can always go ahead later and fix it. So just focus on marking the whole shape at this point, this way. And at the end, make sure to click on the first point where you started. And this is the result you should get. Now you see here the plus sign. You can always add more points and then make it even more accurate. And at the same time, you can also click on some of the points with the right mouse button and remove them. Eventually, this precision is quite important because it will define where you can drag your shape from. So not only from the whole area in the middle, but also from the top of the strawberry, which is much more narrow area. Okay, looks good. Looks like we're done here. Let's save the scene. Let's call it strawberry. And now let's actually go and start adding the logic in order to be able to drag the strawberry. So let's go here, add a new script. I will add it in the scripts directory. Click on create. And what we would like exactly to do. So we want to check if we're in the area of the strawberry. And if we are, then mark it accordingly so we can start dragging it. If we're not, then we want to disable it. So let's go back to the script and let's start filling the details. First of all, I want to add the process function to process every frame rate as soon as possible. And so in this function, I'm going to add the logic for the dragging. I'm going to check if I'm in the area of the strawberry. And if I am, and also I'm clicking on the mouse button, on the left mouse button, then I'm going to drag it to mark that I can drag it. So let's say I want to call it this way. We'll add the input later. And let's mark dragging as true. And otherwise, it's false, right? Now let's add the variables so we can actually use them inside the function. So both of them are booleans. So let's mark it accordingly. And we are going to set it to false by default. So we're not dragging the shape and we're also not in the area of the shape. And now let's also add the logic for the position of the shape. So if we are dragging the shape and at the same time we're clicking on our mouse button, it means that we want to move the position of the shape. The moment we are not dragging it anymore, we don't want to keep changing the position. So in order to change the position, we're just going to set it to the mouse cursor. And this way, the shape will follow the mouse cursor every time, again, you're dragging the shape and clicking on the mouse button. And finally, we also want to check if we're in the area or not. And we didn't do it so far. So let's see how we're doing it. We're going to the area 2D, and if you remember, I told you about the signals, so this is how we're going to connect them. So doing that, we can simply set the in area to true every time we entered the shape of the area. And in a similar way, we can add another signal, the mouse exited signal, in order to check that we are no longer inside the area. So this way we know we no longer need to drag the shape. Okay, so we are done. Let's save. And what we can do next is link our strawberry to the game and also set the input. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's go to our game. Let's link the strawberry scene. And now we can go ahead and check that it looks okay. And next we'll add our input. So let's add the left mouse button that we've been using inside the script. So call it this way. Click on add, and then you want to link it to the actual button this way. Okay, click on OK, close it, and let's give it a test. So if I click on play, I'm able to drag the strawberry. This is great, this is exactly what we wanted. But you'll notice that something is a little bit off here. Every time I click on some area, it basically jumps to the mouse cursor. And what I wanted to do is to drag it from the point where I clicked. So let's go ahead and fix it. And let's start by explaining how it's going to work. So we have our strawberry and we have the mouse cursor, and the problem is that we always jump, the position always position of the sprite itself, so the strawberry, and we're going to decrease the position of the mouse cursor. And this way we'll get the vector between the two, so the offset vector. So to summarize, we're going to use it in two locations. First location is whenever we start dragging the shape, and this is when we'll calculate the vector, so the distance between the center of the sprite and the mouse cursor. And the second time is when we actually add this offset when we are dragging the strawberry. Okay, so let's go ahead and apply the fix. Let's go to the strawberry, open the script, and the first thing we're going to do is to define the strawberry offset. So this is the vector of the offset between the strawberry and the mouse cursor. So first we type the position of the strawberry, and then we decrease the mouse cursor position. Let's of course define the variable as a vector, an empty vector, and you can just type vector2.0. And once we have it, we need to fix the conditional here, but first let's add the strawberry offset that we just added to the position, so every time we are dragging it. And let's also fix here the condition, because if we'll not add, not dragging, it will be less smooth. And let's test it. Okay, so I can drag it from here, and let's take another position, and even the top of the strawberry. So as you can see, it works smoothly. You can drag it from any position. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.